will cost you 38,000 USD. But what is the real cost out of the factory? Today I'm going to break it down in front of you step by step. First thing first, Hermes only use the leathers from the 3 top-level suppliers. One is called Muti from Italy. Second is Weinheim from Germany, and the third is Paz from France. One piece of Togo leather, same leather as this one, will cost 250 USD. And one piece of the leather is only enough to make one Birkin, okay? And next, thread. And of course, for Hermes Birkin, the thread is also the best top level. It's called Fil al Chinois from France. This is actually the Rolls Royce in thread. For each bag, the cost is 25 USD. And then hardware. See, this hardware is called 316 hardware. It's also known as the ocean stainless steel because it can withstand the erosion of seawater. It's the best stainless steel. For one piece of bag, the hardware will cost 150 USD. The edge oil. This edge oil is imported from Italy. It's called heat seal edge oil. For each bag, it will cost 50 USD. The interior lining, it used lambskin imported from France. Each bag, the cost will be 100 USD. And also inside, there is a zipper from rebranded. And the zipper for one bag is 10 USD. And then the cost of human resource. The French artisans is much more expensive than Chinese artisans. To finish one bag, the human resource cost will be 600 USD. Package, now this is not that expensive, it's 10 USD. So now to sum those up, the total cost will be 1,400 USD for one Birkin out of factory. But why Hermes will charge you 8,000 USD for one bag? That's because more than 90% of the price is paid for its logo. But if you don't care about the logo, you just want same quality, same material, just buy from us. Because for our bags, we use exactly same material, same leather, same hardware, same edge oil. The only difference is one, we don't have the logo, so we don't have to pay so much amount of money just for that logo. And second, our human resource is much cheaper. This is why this bag from our factory only costs you 1,000 USD, but even better. Do you recognize this style, this bag? Of course you do. For the past more than 30 years, we have been OEM factory for most of the luxury brands around the world. Gucci, Prada, Coach, Louis Vuitton, you name it. But for this, I am not proud because we were only making our wages. The profit margin for the people who are actually making the bags is very low. What I'm really proud of is that first, we have the best quality control. Two, we have the best craftsmanship. You know, Chinese craftsmen are always intelligent and diligent. Three, we have the most complete supply chain. We always get what we want, like zippers, accessories of any kind, any color, and leathers immediately. Now, as the USA and its little European brothers are trying to refuse Chinese goods, don't you think luxury brands are not trying to move their OEM out of China? Yes, they did, but they failed because the OEM factories out of China, they don't have good quality control and they don't have as good craftsmanship. Their workers are either too expensive or too lazy. Three, they don't have any supply chain. They always have trouble getting leather or zippers or any accessories. That is why they failed, and that is why we will always be the best OEM factory for luxury brands. Why don't you just contact us and buy from us? You won't believe the prices we give you.
I know you've been seeing this guy all over your FYP. Well, he goes by the name of Senbags, and he's basically been exposing luxury brands, their costs, and how you can get these bags directly, albeit you won't get the label, but you'll still get the quality material. And you've also probably been seeing this woman here when she goes by the name Aluna Sourcing China, and she lets you know the distributors for some of your favorite clothing brands, including Lululemon. I've been trying to figure out why are these people coming across FYP? Well, here's the thing. We've gone through a tariff war with the United States and China has started to reduce their regulations on a lot of things, which includes counterfeiting. If you guys didn't know, China is an authoritarian regime, and so they have strict guidelines when it comes to counterfeiting because prior to the tariff wars, they used to have a relationship with the US, and China used to honor patents as well as trademarks for a lot of these luxury brands until the trade war happened. And then they just said, a fit. Now, before the trade war, we were still able to get those dupes from the gate, if you know what I will. But that's that's because most of those distributors hadn't got caught yet. Because again, prior China had this if we don't see it, it's not occurring type of policy. But if they did see it, then they would be taken down.
Before you are allowed to see this pack, buy this pack. world is big enough that the United States is not the totality of the market in the world. So if the United States wants to go in that direction of completely shutting itself out of the China market, be my guest.
Yeah, and China will lose the US market, which, as I've said, is 15%.
We don't care. We don't care. China has been here for 5,000 years. Most of the time, there was no United States, and we survived. And if the United States wants to bully China, we will deal with the situation without the United States, and we expect to survive for another 5,000 years.
I thought it was common knowledge that luxury items aren't that expensive to make. Like, you're really just paying for the brand of it all. It's like how much worth people are putting into the brand itself and giving it like the status of being luxury. And like if a company comes out and prices their bags at a certain price point and says we're a luxury brand, even though it cost $50 to make whatever the fuck, and then they sell it for $50,000, it is the people putting the worth of that brand into the brand. It's like how $1 is literally just a piece of paper. Like, it literally is just a piece of paper. And it's not even a sturdy one. Like, other countries have sturdy bills. We can rip our shit so fucking easily. It's ridiculous. But we have so much, like, worth in this dollar. We put so much worth into the dollar. So it means so fucking much. And it means, like, everything. But at the end of the day, it's a piece of paper. It's the same thing with these luxury brands. Like, yes, it's a nice bag. And, it, you know, yay, it was $50,000, but it cost them $200 to make from beginning to end. So you're just paying for, like, the branding and, like, the little medallion that's on the luxury item. That's really all it is. Seriously.
European luxury companies tried to blame America's tariffs for the recent price hikes, but were unexpectedly exposed by China, who revealed the insanely greedy markups they're actually charging. Multiple European luxury brands, including Prada, Gucci, and Chanel, recently raised their already sky-high prices. These companies argued that the increases were necessary in order to protect their businesses and employees from the financial effects of the tariffs. However, this excuse angered owners of manufacturing companies in China, who took to social media to reveal that these European companies are raising prices purely out of greed. They claim that even at a 20 to 50% tariff rate, the prices these brands charge ensure that they will still make a profit of more than 2,000%, and they have actual evidence to back up these claims, as one poster who operates an OEM factory which produces the actual products that these luxury companies put their brand on and sell to consumers. He showed that one bag, which retails at $38,000, actually only costs about $1,400 to manufacture, which is a markup of more than 2,700%.
Fafo season is here, and we are seeing Chinese are retaliating back on against the tariffs which the US is forcing them to pay. So Chinese manufacturers are exporting luxurious goods from US, who are normally producing in China, and of course they sell it like 4 times, even 10 times the normal price. So literally they're showing you where in China they're being manufactured, how they're being manufactured, and exactly how much you can get at a normal price, at a cheaper rate, if you order directly through the manufacturer in China. Are they legit? Yes. Are they exactly like the brands which they're being sold in France or in Europe or maybe in USA? Yes. This is what happens. Normally what happens is the company from US or in Europe, those are the luxurious company, they order they give orders to manufacturer in China. They give them the specimen, what they want, what they require, of course all the details, and they manufacture in China. They are going to do like 80% or 90% of the product. Then they ship those products to maybe Europe. Then when they reach to Europe, they usually just put the label, and then they say made in Italy or made in France or made in USA, and then they are sold in the shops of the companies where you see the logo. So company like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, and many others, this is what is happening. So Chinese manufacturing companies are telling customers directly here on TikTok and other social media pages that if you want this certain of product or this type of watch or this type of luxurious brand you're looking for, then you can get directly in this manufacturer, because this is what we sell, because we are usually told by certain company to produce products for them. So this is a open secret. There are people who have known about this for a long time, especially other parts of the world. Like people in Africa, they knew about this. People in Asian countries, they knew about this. People in other parts of the world, they knew about it. Even some people in US, they used to know about it. The problem is people used to look down on this brand. They usually say, oh, what can China do? You know, that kind of thing, where you're looking down on China products. You're saying, oh, they cannot make luxurious product. But if you ask an American, if they look around their house and ask which item is being made 100% made in America, they'll look around and they'll tell you zero. 99% of whatever America is using, from the kitchen to electronics, all of them are being made in China. And they're the first people to say Chinese brands are of poor quality. So does it mean now Americans, the things you consume or the things you buy from your supermarkets are of low quality, especially electronics, especially luxurious products? Because that's basically who the Chinese have done. Chinese have gone, look at Apple phones. Apple is being produced in China, and that is the reality. And even the CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, he came out and said Apple is being made in China because of the cheap labor, because they have the skills, they have the know-how, and they literally do mass production. So if they can create or they can produce Apple phones, if they have these hybrid electric vehicles, which are literally the best in the world right now, what makes you think other they're going to make poor quality when it comes to other products? I mean, you need to look at the bigger picture. You need to open your eyes. You need to get out of this being brainwashed, because let's call a spoon or a big spoon. These tariffs, in a way, it's like a silver lining to most American citizens, because right now you're being shown where you can buy this product at a normal price, at a, you know, products which you used to pay like 5 times, 10 times